Welcome back to the Timeline Ranch. So I'll show you what I'm up to today. I've been working for a few hours already. So first thing this morning, I got up, took these boards back off, put 1/4 inch hardy backer underneath that. I can show you from this. I can show you from this side over here. So got hardy backer down, put backing in there because I'm going to put a big drawer underneath there, and then I put sheetrock over that for my fire break. You know, you don't want your framing exposed without some type of a fire break. Sheetrock, hardy backer, wonder board, something like that. So I got that buttoned up. What I'm going to do now is put 1/2 inch hardy backer up 14 inches, and then the rest will be sheetrock above that. That's why I kept this little plywood jig when I made the concrete pieces for the stairs. I can use that to make my hardy backer cuts. I'll just make it, you know, a little taller on this side. Should work out, make it easier on me. Well, let's get to cutting. Well, I got all the hardy backer cut. I piecemealed it together and had a bunch of little pieces of scrap. Made it work. This stuff's expensive. I wasn't buying another sheet to make it work. Those top two pieces are out of a piece of hardy backer I've had for 16 years. I've been toting it around, just knowing someday I'd use it. Finally did. Now I need to zip the screws in the hardy backer to the studs, and then I'll get some 1x4s and scab them on here where the sheetrock will have something to screw to, and then also reinforce the joints. Yeah, I think it's going to work pretty good. hardy backer buttoned into place. Got the little pieces of plywood scabbed in there for the sheetrock to tie into it, and also link each piece together. When I get ready to do the sheetrock, I'll just shove insulation down to the floor there. I still have some other things. I have all that 1-inch conduit for the photovoltaic panels on this side still to get in there. And I also have another switch that's going to be right in here. One will turn on a can light. It's going to be right above the door there. And then I'll have cove lighting down the edge of the stairs to light them up. I think it turned out looking alright. All it is backing for the stone veneer I'm going to put on there, the riverbed gravel stone pieces. The stone pieces are going to be 4 inches lower, the top of them, than where the hardy backer's at. This top step, you know, it's going to be that riverbed gravel stone concrete pieces as well. But I'm going to have to recess this floor right here for this little section. I want it to come right to the middle of this door jamb, right where the threshold meets. And it's going to be tile on this side and that, you know, riverbed gravel on that side. But the riverbed gravel is 1.5 inches thick. So I need it sticking up about a 1/2 inch above this plywood to allow for the 1/4 inch hardy backer and the 1/4 inch tile. I'm going to have to recess this piece. I may do that tomorrow. We'll see. Doesn't look like a day's work, but it sure was. Well, it's kind of windy outside, but I figured we'd take a walk around the pond and see how the trees are looking. Keeps up these warm temperatures, the moringa is going to come popping back up out of the ground. I brought some cantaloupe, watermelon, a variety of different things. I'm going to plant them inside this fenced area. It's looking like I'm not going to have time to put that fence down the east side of the pond like I wanted to. I mainly was putting the fence up so that I could section off just a little portion, but looks like I'm not going to have time to do it. I'd rather use the machine for that time I have to haul off these spoils and move a little bit of that shelf back some. That's the bird that hangs around the pond looking for bees to eat. Well, the grasses came in nicely on this side. I think by the end of next monsoon season, it's going to be a whole different landscape here. Got a couple flowers. I don't know what type of plant this one is. It looks like all the deal but one made it. The transplant. Looks like that one right there is not looking so hot. I didn't know if any of them were going to make it. As long as the moringa make it, that's what I care about. It'll be interesting to see these little fenced off areas that aren't under the animal pressure, what happens in there. So later I may just section off this whole side of the pond that drops straight down. Just make that the kind of garden area. Yeah, that little bitty pecan tree is definitely alive. I can see the very top of it. Looks like leaves are forming. I forgot I was going to look at this flower once it bloomed. Interesting. Got a different one here. Out of the three I brought that one trip and planted, this one, pecan tree, was the best out of them. This is the original pecan tree. Yeah, it grew quite a bit. Last monsoon season, it grew about 18 inches in that one season. I think this year it's really going to take off because it's got its roots established now. Even start to get some bark formed down there at the bottom. Beautiful sight. That English walnut looks good. This was the one that had the wind burn from being in the back of the truck for 700 miles. Doesn't look bad, it's grown quite a bit. There's quite a few of those snails in here. You can see them right there on the edge of the bank. I'm sure some brim or bass would like to get in this water, take care of those snails real quick. That one's looking good. Mission Texas almonds. Yeah, they look good right off the bat. Looks like there's a ladybug on there. Definitely a ladybug. Must be something on there that it's eating. I'm okay with that. Yep, all the almond trees look good. Chinese chestnut looks alright. That one looks alright. That one looks good as well. It's a shame to have such a nice day and not do any equipment work. I needed to get that done there in the building though. Well, I guess that's all I had. I'll see you on the next one.